Hello, Ellie here from Thankful Flow Yoga. I'm here today with a short and powerful flow. We're going to be really activating the core in this flow and working through a lovely fluid sequence. So yes, thank you for being here with me today. Grab any props or blocks that you need. I will just grab mine, make sure that I have them to hand, and let's get started. So starting in a kneeling position on your mat, also known as Thunderbolt, you can always pop a cushion or a blanket underneath your legs here or underneath your hips. And if kneeling position is really not comfortable for you, then just take an alternative seated position. I'm just going to be here for a few moments to just ground into the class today. So taking your hands either to your lap with your palms facing upwards, or you can bring the hands to heart center if that feels good. An option to start to close the eyes, or you can take a steady gaze somewhere in the room out in front of you. And start to connect to your breathing. Notice the chest rise and fall on the inhale and exhale. And bring some length into your spine. Imagine the crown of your head is reaching up towards the ceiling, feeling lengthened and opening through the energy channels in the body. Start to trust your breath. Maybe you're coming to a place of feeling connected. Maybe a place of gratitude for giving yourself this time to do this practice. As much as this practice today is about working into your strength in a physical sense, it's also about connecting to the mind and the strength within you from an inward perspective. When you're ready, if you have the eyes closed, you can start to open them. Start coming back into your physical body. You can release the hands if you've had them at the heart center. And bring your right arm to the mat and just reach that left arm over, coming into a stretch over on the right side. Not putting too much weight into that right hand. And then sweep the right hand, the left hand down, take the right knee and come into a twist. Placing the right hand on the mat behind you, following with your gaze. Twist is really coming from the waist. And as you inhale, making space, and exhale, sinking into the twist. And release. Bring your left hand to the mat. Sweep your right arm up and come over into a little stretch. Just feeling that right side body cracking open. Stretching through. Being mindful of any weight that you're putting into this left hand. Just keeping it light. And then sweep the right arm around. Take the right hand onto the left knee, coming into a twist, lifting up and out of the waist. Bring the left hand to the mat behind you. Gaze coming over to the left. Inhale, making space, and exhale, sinking a little bit further. And release. Bring the hands together, interlace the fingers, and just work through some wrist rolls. Nice. I know this one looks like a interesting dance move. And release. Lovely. So make your way to a tabletop all fours position now. So our shoulders are roughly in line with our wrists and our hips roughly in line with our knees. Finding some activation through the core now. So activating that Mula Bandha as well, which is the inner and outer pelvic muscles. So finding some activation there in this position. See how it feels to bring your right arm out in front of you. And then start to hover the left leg away. And then on your exhale, bring the elbow in as you bring that left knee in and tap them together. And release. This is really tapping into the core. Exhale, bring the elbow to the knee. Inhale, release. And one more. Exhale, elbow to knee. And release. And bring the hand and the leg back down, meeting in tabletop. No worries if you were shaking and wobbling about all over the place here. There's a lot going on with strength and balance. If you feel like the elbow tap's a little bit too much for you today, then you've always got the option to just be hovering the arm and the leg off the mat and working with this. That's still engaging your core, still working with your balance. So please go with that if that feels better for you today. Coming onto the other side, bring this left hand away from the mat, grounding through the right hand, and then bring the opposite leg away from the mat. So right leg is coming out behind you, staying active through the core. Keep remembering the core. Either stay working with this, or we're going to come into the elbow taps now on this side. So left elbow comes in. Inhale, stretch back out. Exhale, come in. Inhale, stretch back out. Last one. Exhale, come in. Inhale, stretch back out. And release. Take any little shakes or wiggles that you need here now. Nice. Now, from your tabletop position, see how it feels to tuck the toes under. And we're just going to hover the knees off the mat. So this might look in this video like my knees are on the mat, but they're not. They're hovering slightly off. And this is really, really strong through the shoulders, the core, really activating. So just remember to breathe and connect to the breath. Feel that inner line of energy working. Any shakes and wobbles, totally normal. And on your next exhale, you can release the hips up to the sky and push back into a downward facing dog from here. Grounding through the feet and the hands. Lengthening the spine, bringing the hips up to the sky, finding some length in the body. Take any pedaling out that you need here through the feet. No worries if your legs are not straight and your feet are not flat, they don't need to be. All we really want to focus on with our downward facing dog is lengthening the spine, lifting the hips away from the ribs, and the hips are reaching up towards the sky. Triceps rolling down. Connect to your breath. Try and relax the head and the neck, send the gaze towards the knees. And start to get ready to come into a three-legged dog now. So grounding through the right foot, release the left foot away from the mat. And you can option to open your hips here, but no worries if you're here or you're hovering your leg off, okay? Go take the modification that feels right for you. If you are in your full three-legged dog, just be mindful of staying strong through the shoulders. And then we're going to sweep this left leg through and tap the knee to the left elbow, tap the knee to the right elbow, and step the foot through between the hands. If you need to miss out the taps, then that's absolutely fine. Just step the foot through to a high lunge. Do what works best for you. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high lunge. Step this right foot in slightly. Find your stability, hands to heart center. Grounding through the left foot, bringing the weight through the left leg. Start pivoting at the hips, coming into warrior three. Hips are square and facing the earth, aiming to create a long line through the body. Option to reach your hands out in front of you, or you can keep them at heart center, or you can have blocks in front of you here to assist with the pose. So take whatever you need in your warrior three, feeling into any of those shakes and wobbles, imagining that back foot is pressing into the wall behind you. And when you're ready, start to come out of your warrior three. Step the foot back down. Find some softness in this left leg. Reach the hands down. Step back to meet in plank position. Work through your version of chaturanga. So on the inhale, coming through either an upward facing dog or cobra. And on the exhale, meeting back in downward facing dog. Grounding through the hands and the feet. Hands and feet are pressing down and away from each other. Belly button is coming in towards the spine. Triceps are coming down. Head and neck are relaxed. And just check in with anything coming up for you today. Notice how you're feeling in your body, in your mind, in your emotions. And just notice. This time, grounding through the left foot, start to raise that right leg off the mat, come into three-legged dog. If it feels good to, you can bring that right leg up, opening through the hips. Just an option, you don't have to come here. And just stay really stable through the shoulders if you're coming into this. Stable and strong. And then start to sweep with control this right knee in. Tap the right elbow with the right knee. Bring it over. Tap the left elbow with the right knee. Come back and step the foot through. You don't have to come to the elbow taps if that's feeling too strong for you today. Sweep the hands up, high lunge. Step this left foot in slightly now. Bring your hands to heart center, prepare to come into warrior three, bringing the weight forwards into the right standing leg, Pivoting at the hips. Keeping the hips nice and square, pointing towards the earth. Taking any blocks or props that you need. If you need to keep your hands in prayer position, then work with that. Bring your arms out in front for a little bit more. Feeling into any wobbles, any shakes. If you fall out, no worries. Just come back in and meet me here. If you need to reduce the range of movement in your warrior three, then do that. Really working. And start to release. Bring the back leg back down to the mat. Find some softness through this front right leg. Frame the foot with the hands. Step back, meeting in plank position. Work through your version of Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, meet back in downward facing dog. And breathe. Sending the hips up to the sky. On your next inhale, come to your toes and step the feet in towards the hands. Lift the chest, make space, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Just take a pause here. You can let the hands come out to the side. Now we're going to start lowering down to the mat. So come to your toes and see how it feels to, with control, lower the hips down to the mat. And release. And as you sit back onto the hips, bring the legs away and meet in Navasana boat pose. So option to have your hand behind your thighs to support, and just make sure to find that openness through the chest, shoulders coming away from each other. If it's accessible to you, you can have your hands out to the side here. Bring your hands to heart center now, and we're going to take some taps. So tap to the right side, come in, tap to the left side, come in, tap to the right, come in, tap to the left, come in, tap to the right, come in. Last one, tap to the left, come in and release. Bend this right leg in, placing the right foot down on the mat. Send the left leg out straight, flexing that left foot, and give your right knee a hug with the left arm. Bring the right hand behind you and start to send the gaze over your right shoulder, Marichyastasana. And just connect to the breath. Bring some attention back to the left leg, keeping that engaged. On the inhale, finding space, and on the exhale, sinking. If you want a little bit more, you can inhale this left arm up and place the elbow on the outside of your right thigh and come into the twist this way with a little bit more. Just an option. And release. Getting ready to come to the other side. So bend this left knee, foot grounded on the mat, right leg engaged, foot flexed. Give your left knee a hug with your right arm. Take your left hand to the mat behind you. Inhale, coming to the twist. Sending that gaze over towards the left shoulder. If you want to take the next option, inhale the right arm up and send the elbow over the outside of the left thigh. And release. Take any little movements, little shake out that you need. And then lengthen both your legs down in front of you. Flex the feet. Legs are engaged. And find some length. Relax the shoulders. Send the ribs up and away from the hips. And then pivoting from the waist, come into the fold this way. So this might mean that you're having a small movement. We're leading with the chest bone. So see, your hands might come to your thighs, they might come to your shins, they might come to your toes. Just thinking about maintaining that length in the spine. Sometimes in Paschimottanasana, we do round the spine in the forward fold. You can take it in that way, or you can take it lengthened with a lengthened spine, depending on the practice. And release. Start sliding the body up from the forward fold now. And make your way to a lying position. Option to bend the knees in and ground the feet. Bring the hands out in front and seat with an engaged core. See how slowly you can lower yourself down to the mat. How slow can you go? Taking your time. When you're ready, just release. Let the legs relax. Let the feet come out to the sides. Option for this Shavasana today to take one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly, if that feels comfortable for you. Maybe feeling a sense of support and comfort in this position. Really notice how the belly and the chest moves with your breath. Relax the muscles in the face, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. Perhaps on your inhales, you can imagine as you breathe in that your breath is nourishing your entire body, every atom, every cell, being filled with life and energy, nourished. When we exhale, anything that our body and mind do not need is floating away. You could imagine this in any way that you like. Perhaps you've got thoughts coming into your head that you are observing. Perhaps you're in complete stillness. Just know wherever you're at that that's okay. And when you're ready, of course, as always, please stay in Shavasana longer if you have time to, if that's what you're needing today. But if you are ready to start to come out of your Shavasana, then take a roll over to one side. It can be any side that feels right for you. And pause there for a moment with your eyes closed if you can. And then start to gradually make your way back up to a seated position on your mat, remaining with the eyes closed. Grounding through the sitting bones. Feeling a sense of openness and space and energy created in your body and your mind. And when you're ready, slowly start to open your eyes, bringing the gaze to the floor in front of you. Let your mind and body settle for a moment. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here and practicing with me today. If you enjoy these videos and that you feel like you would like some further, slightly longer practices with me, or you would like to have some regular online practices, I do have a membership option that you can join for each month, where you get a choice of live and recorded, slightly longer, more detailed practices with me. So please get in touch if that's something that you would be interested in.